So for 62 days, I have watched photos and videos of dead Palestinian babies and children and their dead moms and their dead dads and their dead siblings and their dead grandparents just completely consume my social media feeds. And I've somehow been numb enough to be able to push through it. I cry sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes I think my brain is blocking me from processing the image because it just does not, I cannot fathom that it is real, even though it is very, very real. But what has absolutely broken me are the images and the videos of Palestinian men being completely humiliated and stripped down to their underwear in the freezing cold and blindfolded and forced to sit or lay on the floor or to pile into a van and make their way over to what looks like is about to be their mass grave and what looks like them about to be executed in front of their families. And there have already been reports of some of these men being executed. And why it breaks me is because the minute I saw those images, I knew exactly where the media was going to go with it. I knew exactly what Israel was going to say about them. I knew that they were going to claim that they were Hamas fighters. And I knew that they were going to say that they were terrorists, that they caught or turned themselves in. It's all exactly what they're saying. And I also knew exactly why they did this to them. I knew there's a tactical reason for them rounding up husbands, fathers, grandfathers, uncles, brothers, sons. They kidnapped these men from their families who are already tortured and seeking shelter from Israeli and American bombs. And there's a reason why they did this. And it goes beyond cruelty being the sole purpose, because for as cruel as they are still calculated. And it's because images like this are meant to target the minds of people who are not 100% on board with a liberated Palestine just yet. It targets the people who still believe that peace is possible without justice, without liberation, without equity. They appeal to the soft humanitarians, to the liberals, to the white feminists who will advocate for women who they think are oppressed by brown and black people and children who they think are victims of brown and black people but are still very afraid of brown and black and Muslim men. If they can convince you that this amount of men that they have round up and stolen from their families and are holding hostage are terrorists, if they can convince you that this is the reason why they went in there in the first place, then you'll forget about everything else that's happening in Gaza, and you'll justify this genocide that you were almost on your way to realizing fully what was happening. They did this so they could take these images and they could feed them to the people who have yet to be radicalized. We're almost there, but have yet to be radicalized on believing in the liberation of the collective world. You will see these images and you will not see them as the husbands and fathers and brothers and grandfathers and cousins and friends the way that we see them. Because we see these images and we know what's going on and we know what it's for. But when you see it, if you're not on the same brain wavelength as the rest of us, which a lot of people are not there yet, you can get there, but you're not there yet. When you see images like this, it sets you back. You will see them as the reason for them bombing and assaulting Gaza for the last 62 days, because that's what they want you to see. And if you do not believe in collective liberation, if you do not tie everyone's oppression to the oppression of Palestinians, you will not see what you need to see. And what you need to see is men, husbands, fathers, brothers, sons, grandfathers, uncles, friends, normal human beings who have been through literal hell for the last 2 months and who have somehow made it through and who have somehow found the strength every day to get up and keep searching under rubble for people that they love and stand in lines for days waiting for food and fuel to be able to sustain their families. And what breaks my heart the most about it is that I'm just watching this world use Palestinian Muslim men as pawns again. Because our men are incredible. Our men deserve dignity and honor and respect and love, and they have proven that. They have shown the world that. But there is still that fear for them. There's still that fear about them, and they know that. And that's why they do this to them. And that's why they take these images, and that's why they circulated these images by themselves. And so if you are not there yet, if you are not totally radical about a free Palestine, and if you do not understand that a free Palestine doesn't mean violence for any other group, if there is something blocking you from being able to get there, you need to figure out how to unblock yourself. You have to get there. You cannot allow them access to your mind like this through tactics like this anymore. They are doing this because they know that they still have access to your brain. You have to block that access. You have to get on board. You have to be fully free Palestine. There is no in between. There is no peddling to both sides. This is not a choice anymore. You have to get there. Otherwise, they're going to keep using our people as pawns, and they're going to keep finding ways to insert themselves into your mind and to screw with what you know is real. You know that Palestine should be free. You have to get there. You can look at the images and the videos of our children and our women, and you immediately know that it is not okay. You have to be able to do the same thing for Palestinian men. You have to be able to look at these images and know that what is happening to them is not okay, and sympathize with them and fight for them. You have to be able to do that for all Palestinians. It cannot stop at women and children. It has to include our men. You have to look at all of us and want safety and protection and freedom for all of us, for the survival of all of us. You have to get there.